Hello everybody and welcome to yet another miserable day in Northamptonshire. Do you know what? It's been like this for as long as I can remember. Mud is everywhere on the farm, as you'd expect. Trying to keep cars clean is a nightmare, and just about coming to the end of my tether with everything. I know you should start YouTube videos off by being positive and get in there and yeah, smash the like button and do you know what? Really just, I've sold 2 cars this month. One of them had absolutely no profit at all. You may remember the Kona from one of the previous videos. It had the engine swap. That's gone. But like I said, it was at literally no profit at all. The fact that it had the engine swap just wasn't helping it at all. And in the end, I had a lovely gentleman come down, bought a car for his daughter who'd gone through absolute hell and back with liver transplants and whatever. And I don't know, I've still got half of me, which, you know, is more than half, which is a normal person that really likes when things like that happen. And to see them get a good deal and her be happy and her, you know, getting over everything was kind of nice, but like I said, there's no money in it. The other one was one of the imports, a little VW up, went, and that's the only thing that's really paid the bills this month. I've got cars. Every time I film one of these, bloody train. Honestly, this is my life at the moment. Nothing else could go wrong. I've got cars coming up my arse with problems. So I've got, let me just see if I can show you here. And I'll flip my screen around so I can see. Citroen Picasso there. Full service history. Looks like there was no issues with it at all when it went on the transporter at the end where I bought it. It's come here, the power steering's fact. The, what else? I mean, it's filthy inside, obviously, but that's what it is. What else is up with it? Power steering. Oh, I don't know. There was something else in there. That's parked up and just sat there. Remember the little Ypsilon that we bought when I was with Narul? We went over to where was it? Kings Lynn to buy that from Anglia Car Auctions. Had a problem with the heater matrix on it, as you may remember. It was just blowing out hot air. Well, apparently that's a common thing for Fiat 500 based cars. It's a dash out job to replace a £20 plastic flap, and it takes forever, like literally like 7 or 8 hours to actually get to this £20 flap. Again, another one of those, oh, it's a common fault because the engineers were too shit to deal with it, and now it's your problem. So got that to deal with on that. I've got a Nissan Pulsar, which when it's not wet and rainy, paintwork on it is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a purpley blue that flips colour. You might have seen it on a Qashqai before. Got the Pulsar. It's got the 1.2 engine in it, and obviously it's got a cam chain issue like they all get, but just happens to happen when I have it. So that's waiting for a tensioner work to be done on it. So that's in the queue. I've got a Kia Ceed here, which came off motorway. The driver from motorway said, oh yeah, it's lovely, it's great, nothing wrong with it. And to be fair, it's a clean car. Another crane. Honestly, man, you could not make this shit up right now. And look, it's a train with nothing on it. Honestly, this is the kind of life I'm having at the moment. Anyway, where were we? Sorry. Kia Ceed. Motorway driver picked up. Yeah, it's lovely. It's great. It's wonderful. Got it back here. Clutch is absolutely bollocks on it. Renault Megane. Another one I bought from motorway. Another one owner car. So the first owner had it for a day. So it's a 2 owner car really. First owner had it for a day. Second owner had it for 14 years. Motorway driver, yeah, it's the cleanest car I've seen, but it's brilliant, it's wonderful, it's fantastic. The clutch, literally, you just rest like a toenail on the clutch and you can change gear. It's that worn, but didn't bother to tell me. So, hey ho, wonderful, fantastic. Thanks, Motorway. Not buying another car from you. My Range Rover, the MOT's run out on that. Hopefully, it doesn't need too much, although it's got electrical gremlins like you wouldn't believe, but structurally and mechanically, absolutely fine. I've got my little Vitz Yaris here, which is just awaiting, I'm waiting for an LED bulb to do the fog light on the back light. Would you believe to change the back light on one of those, you've got to take the rear bumper off or loosen the rear bumper down? crazy. There you go. So that's what that's waiting for. Just inside. Ooh. I'll leave the window, the door open, so we've got some light in the barn. So I don't know what I'm pointing at because I'm not looking at you. I'm trying to hook the door closed, open. Come on, there we go. Right. I'll come to that one in a minute because that's the star of the show. So Honda Insight here. Again, I've got to do a fog light on that. So that's sitting there waiting. That's another import. 3008, which is, I've had the cam belt done on it, the water pump done on it. It's a 100,000 mile car, but I've got to be honest, it looks like it's done 20. It is immaculate inside, immaculate outside, but it's a Peugeot 3008. And when I had my call with the Auto Trader rep and said to her, it's not selling, because literally nothing's selling this month, she said, well, you know, you need to take more pictures of it. And like, you know, all the good sellers, they've got like 60 images of cars and stuff and things. I'm thinking, not being funny, if you go on Tinder, if you're an ugly pig, putting 60 pictures up of yourself is really not going to help you sell yourself, and it's not going to help sell this car. So it's sat there ready to go in perfect condition until somebody decides they just want a nice, reliable car and don't care what it looks like. So that's that. My little Fiat, it's been here forever. I kind of love it. It's like, you know, probably got moss growing on it now, but one day somebody will take it. The Civic, which I've got a love-hate relationship with, it's a 14 plate. It's done 60,000 miles, 50,000 miles, 60,000 miles. I play around with the price because I got it fairly cheap. I've had all the work done to it. It still doesn't owe me a massive amount, but I think it books at something like 8,600 quid, which is ridiculous price for the car. Don't get me wrong, it is like loaded to the brim with stuff and bits and pieces, and it's got everything you can want on it, but the money, I don't know, it's just so expensive for what it is. But there you go, that's that. My X1, which again, another import, immaculate car. It's got a really nice number plate on it, which we put on it. It's, I don't know what to say about it. It literally is, you could eat your dinner off it. It's so nice. But it's an import, so people are like, oh, well, I don't know. So that's sat there. I've got me XV hybrid, only one in the country, with another great number plate on it. Can you see that? Here's XVH. I thought it was pretty cool. Didn't actually cost me a huge amount, but looks really good on the car. So again, that's there. I've got this little Honda, which I've got to say, Auto Trader's retail rating on this is something like 88 or 90. I've got no interest on Auto Trader on it at all. It's priced absolutely bang on. I mean, can you see the paint? I don't know if you can, this camera will pick it up, but I've polished this to within an inch of its life. Look at that paintwork. I mean, it is, every time I walk past it, I'm just like touching it ever so slightly, you know, just brushing it. It is so nice. But I don't know if it's the interior that's putting people off with that creamy interior. Again, scrub that to within an inch of its life. That's now nice and clean. But not much in that one. Got this Astra GTC. I've probably got the only GTC that's suffering from rust. So it's starting to bubble down at that arch there. Obviously, somewhere where the door kick is, which is in the wing as well. And I don't know if you remember, like, I come from a time when I was buying a car, I was buying an MGB or a Mini, and you could literally put your foot through the sill and you'd be like, oh, that'd be fine, I'll weld that. Nowadays, anybody sees anything brown on a car, oh, I'm not touching that, not touching that. I mean, that will be fine for longer than the car will live, I should imagine. But anyway, you can't make it up. So, and then further back here, sorry, this wasn't a video about this place. I was just going through what we actually got in still. The little 500 Cabriolet. I've not really done much with that one advertising-wise because I'm not pushing it. It's February. It's freezing cold. I'm cold. I'm miserable. I wouldn't even want to buy that car in this weather, even though it's absolutely gorgeous. So that's just waiting for the sun to come out. Got another little 500 VW Up import there. Another little automatic. Not quite as flash as the red one we had with all the contrasting trim, but sorry, it's where you need a polarizer on the camera. But you can't really see, a bit pointless really. But anyway, there was that, which I'm just waiting for the V5 to come through from the DVLA. See, I told you I wasn't that fat. And Kia Rio. Again, it's done 100,000 miles. I've had to polish the tits off this one as well. But it looks nice and shiny now. But again, it's like £4.5 is its money on Auto Trader. But do you really want to pay that sort of money for a 100,000 mile Kia Rio? I don't know, I just think it's a little bit overpriced. But it's that thing again, where it's, if you price them low, people think there's something wrong with them. Price them high, people think they're too expensive. And price them in the middle, and it's like, I can get a better car than that for that. And finally, the point of this video is this. A Nissan Leaf that I picked up about a month ago now. And I was going to do a video on it, and then another creator managed to buy virtually exactly the same car as me and do a video on it just as I was doing everything that needed to be done to the car. So it's halfway through the video, that popped up from High Peak, and I was just like, oh God, you can't make this up. So I bought this car, cheaper than High Peak. I think it was 26 it cost me. Just under £3 with the fees anyway, and delivery. And it's top of the range, it's a Tecna with all the gubbins on it. It's got I mean, you can't really get any extras on a Tecna, but this has got them. So it's got the Bose stereo system. Is it open? No. Leather trim, which, I mean, guys, on an electric car, don't put leather trim in it, because it's cold. It's cold when it's cold and it's hot when it's hot. What you want with an electric car is things that you don't need to sort out, that you can just, you know, get in. Give me a nice velour seat, please. But anyway, yes, picked that up. And for whatever reason, when I bought it, I saw the charge bars and I saw it was fully charged. Or I don't know what I saw, to be fair. Long story short, I got it back. The battery level is on 6 bars. So I tried to sell it cheap. So I put it up originally at 4,995, thinking there is a customer for this car, because it had 65 miles of range. Like I said, it's immaculate. It's got every bit in toys and whatever. And if you're just an old boy or an old girl that just wants to go to the village every week, come back or go here, it is perfect for that. But I had a few people come and look at it, and for whatever reason, I think the battery condition put them off. And then while I was researching for that video, I did see that there was a PDF and a few links on a few different pages saying that the warranty on the battery was 100,000 miles or 8 years for the 30 kilowatt, which that one is. That is the 30 kilowatt battery on the first generation Leaf. So it was the last of the Leafs, but the first of, I don't know, anyway, upgraded battery on the last of the first gen Leafs. But it was covered for 8 years, 100,000 miles. So I'm thinking, hang on a minute, it's a 16 plate, 24 plate, that should be covered. Now, I say should be because the car's got a fully documented Nissan service history. So stamp, 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 all Nissan. So you think and the last one was in September, October time. So you think, well, it hasn't suddenly dropped 2 or 3 bars in the last 3 or 4 months. So why didn't Nissan do the warranty claim when it went in for its last service? I mean, perhaps Nissan are saying don't actually offer it, only do it when a customer actually says so, which I think is a little bit naughty, but anyway. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go and see, and I'll try it in a different Nissan garage down here and see if that makes a difference. So I took it into Bristol Street Nissan in Northampton, dropped it off with them. We've got this lovely, I don't know if it's all Nissans do this now, but it's click and drop thing with your keys, where you go in, there's little safe boxes where you can drop your key in. You haven't got to speak to anybody. Really clever, really good. Impressed with that, Bristol Street, very good. So I dropped it off. It was booked in for the Thursday, so I dropped it off on the Tuesday night, and it was done, and I thought I'd just let them get on with it. And then Wednesday night, I got an email or a text saying, your car's finished, Mr. Hughes, you can come and collect it. So I'm thinking, okay, that was quicker than I thought. It's only been like virtually a day because obviously I dropped it off early. Thinking, well, fine, thanks, picked it up. So I went down to collect it, and when I went down there was an invoice sat on the receptionist's desk for 120 quid investigation fee to tell me that there was nothing wrong with the car, it's all fine, it's charging, wonderful. I was like, I know it charged lovely, but the warranty on the car is anything under 9 bars, you'll replace the bits on the battery to get it back up to 9 bars, up to 8 years, 100,000 miles. So the lady said, oh, I'll go off and I'll talk to the technician and see what's been said. So off she went, and when she came back to me, she said, yeah, unfortunately, it's not covered under warranty, so you're going to have to pay the investigation fee. So I said, well, have you fixed any of it? And she said, well, it charges fine. I said, I know it charges fine. I said, the problem is the battery's on 6 bars, and under the Nissan warranty, you should be able to replace whatever needs replacing to get it back up to 9 bars. So off she went again to talk to the technician. And then when she came back, she said, no, apparently it's not covered because your car has only got 100,000 miles, 7-year warranty. So I'm like, 7-year warranty? She said, yes, 100,000 miles, 7-year warranty. So unfortunately, we're out of the 7 years. So at this point, my mind's suddenly going, perhaps that's why it's not been done. You know, it may have dropped 2 bars in 2 years, but maybe not like in 6 months. So that's maybe why it's not been done. So at that point, I'm needing an underwear change, thinking, okay, I'm going to be stuck with this now. And then in the back of my head, I'm thinking, because she said, actually, she didn't say 100,000 miles, 7-year warranty. She did. She said 100,000 miles, 7-year warranty. And then when I questioned it, she said, yeah, it's only got a 96-month warranty on it. Now, that had registered somewhere up there, but obviously I was too busy thinking about it's not covered and there's 120 quid bill to pay while I was like meandering through my brain. And as you get older, as you know, it just takes a little bit longer for things to work their way through. So as I'm standing there, I'm thinking, did you say 96 months? She went, yes, that's right, 7 years. So I said, well, I'm not being funny, but 96 months is like 8 years. 48 is 4, 96 is 8. And you could see the confusion on her face when she suddenly realised that actually that was the case, and it was an 8-year warranty. So off she went back to the technician again, and I could hear a few mumblings going on in the workshop behind. And then she came back and said, you're right, Mr. Hughes, it is covered under warranty. Well, at least we think it is. Let me contact Nissan on Monday morning and then we'll get back to you and let you know. So I was like, right, okay. So back in the cab, back to up here. And the cab's not cheap. Cab's 40 quid each way. So back up here, and a week later, long story short, got the car back. It's actually on 10 bars now, and the range has gone from 65 to 90. So when I said to them, well, have you replaced any of the battery components? She turned around and said, well, no, all we've done is we've done a software update. And I know this is a thing, if you're a Nissan Leaf follower and you've checked the forums and you know all about this, that's fine, but there's people on here like me that didn't know this. But apparently there's a software update that will update the battery to give you the correct readings on it, and to whether there's a little bit extra in the battery just in case this happens, I don't know, but they don't give you the full 30 kilowatts on your gauge or whatever it is, I don't know. So yeah, she said there's been a software update. So I said, what, I've just changed something on the computer inside, and that's given me another 25 miles range. Yep, that's right, that's what's been done. Now, I'm not being funny. The people that have sold that car, they've obviously traded it in for something else. And whoever's taken the car in this part exchange has given them, I mean, I don't know. What did I pay for it? 30, let's say 3.5, 36, something like that. So the garage must have given them about 3.5, maybe even £3,000 for the car because the battery's knackered on it, or it looked like it was knackered. And now it turns around, if you plug a laptop into it, boom, there's another 25 miles range. You've just literally upped your range by about 35, 40%. Just because you plugged a laptop. That can't be right, surely. I'm not saying it's not right that the laptop and the software and whatever is not right. I'm saying the fact that a person that's owned the car for a number of years, had it serviced religiously by Nissan don't tell them that, oh, we can just plug a laptop in and we'll get you some more range out of your car. I think that is absolutely atrocious. But from my point of view, guess what? It added £1,000 to the price of the car. So it's not all bad news. So yeah, that's still here, and it is my most viewed car on Auto Trader by far. I say by far, not far. The X1 gets looked at quite a lot until they get to the bottom of the paragraph that says it's an import. I'm sure that's what it is. But it is my most viewed car, and I was sure as soon as I put the images on to say that it's got a extended mileage on it and the range, because 90 miles actually for a 30 kilowatt hour battery is not bad at all. You know, considering it's what, nearly 8 years old, 96 months old. I don't think that's, especially considering the weather is so gash at the moment, and that in a few months' time you might see that get up to 100, especially because the car's been sat and not being used properly. It's, you know, backwards and forwards here and there. It's not in a proper run. Maybe on a proper run you'd get another 10 miles at it and get up to 100, maybe. But I don't think that's bad for a 30 kilowatt hour battery. I know it's not ideal, and I know there's lots of, let's not get into the old EV debate. We can do that another day, because I love that filling the comments section up. But yeah, I don't think that's too bad for that. Anyway, that's the story. I'm sorry I've not been online. I've literally just had a real ball ache of most things that's gone on over here. But yeah, and it is getting to the stage where I've run into so many problems, and money is getting to be a real pain at the moment. Paying bills, where Auto Trader, you may not know, but are putting their fees up again 1st of April. It's not a lot, but it's never a lot, but it's like death by 1,000 cuts. It's another 150 quid a month on a 10 car package, which takes above 1,500 quid, which for 10 cars, or 10 slots rather, you know, it's 150 quid a car, which is getting to the point where it hurts. And I had the conversation with the account manager and said, look, all your data's great, but it's not the be all and end all. And eventually you become, I mean, if I didn't have the Auto Trader data, I'm not saying I wouldn't miss it, but it makes you lazy. As a car trader or someone that's worked in the trade, there's things that you know about cars, and there's things that you can do to, what am I trying to say? Basically, Auto Trader gives you tools that makes you lazy, and lets me, not in general, perhaps it's just me, but I get used to coming in and looking at the analytics and seeing how many people have looked at a car, or how many people have viewed a car. And like with the Leaf, for example, if I didn't have that data, then I wouldn't know it was my most popular car to be viewed. I think I'd still got a pup, because although people are looking at the car and they're going through the images, and that's bringing them onto the website, I can't see that if I don't have the package from Auto Trader. And their argument is, well, you know, is that worth an extra £75 a car to you to have that level of information? And when they put it like that, you think, well, actually, yeah, I suppose it is. But it's still £150 a slot, 1,500 quid a month for, plus VAT, that's not including that, plus VAT, for a small dealer like me is a lot to swallow, when you've also got like funding on top of that, you've got the rent on top of that. I mean, when I took the funding, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, because I sort of concentrated on the imports. Wasn't sure about the funding. And then when I took the funding on, I thought, well, okay, it's another train, sorry. It's 1,500 quid a month for 50 grand's worth of funding. It's quite expensive, but effectively, if I sell 1.5 cars a month, that kind of pays for the funding. It allowed me to buy, you know, 10, 12, 13, I don't know, cars at the start. And realistically, it does pay for itself because, like I said, depending on what your profit margin is, and let's for argument's say it's 1,500 quid, it's not, but let's say it was. You sell one car a month, it pays for the funding. But what you don't realise is by having the funding, you've then got to have all the Auto Trader package, and you've then got to have cars queued up down at your mechanic to get looked at. And it causes this massive backlog, and selling one a month isn't actually what you need to do. You need to sell like 3 a month to cover all the extra expenses, where if I didn't have the funding, I wouldn't have to have the Auto Trader package. I could concentrate on like the imports I've got, which to be fair, so once I've got them in, especially the small ones, actually sell really well. So there is part of me that's thinking, should I just bin the funding off, bin Auto Trader off, and just advertise each vehicle individually, which is half the price as you would with Auto Trader. I think it's 75 quid a car, including that. And save myself a lot of hassle. Then I literally still have to sell one car a month, although it be one import, to pay the rent on this place, and anything else is profit. And as the profit level on the imports is not massively higher, but it is higher than you get on the UK cars, especially when you consider they're queuing up down the mechanics to get repaired. And any bill, I mean, like I say, I've got clutches out there with dual mass flywheels, like the Megane, for example. It's probably going to cost me the best part of, I don't know, 800 quid maybe to get done. You know, the seed as well. I mean, sounds crap, but I can get away with not doing the dual mass flywheel, especially on the Megane, because actually the Megane drives absolutely fine apart from the fact of the clutch being right at the top. It doesn't judder or anything like that. So maybe just put the clutch on and leave the flywheel as it is. But it's those things that, you know, I take it down to my mechanic and everything's like there's no little jobs. There's no like, oh, can you give this a service and do an MOT on it for me? Or can you, core spring's gone on this one, can you do that one for me? Everything's like, oh, can you rebuild the car for me? When you've done that, respray it. And then, you know, nothing's like simple. Everything needs like loads doing to it. So, yeah, I'm really at a crossroads about what to do with the business, with everything at the moment, and I don't know about starting Rascas. It might be actually ending Rascas for what I know, because you know, I'm no different to anybody else out there that's watching this video. I don't have any money, although I've got what might think like a lot of cars here that's worth a lot of money. That's all tied up in a lot of finance and loans and other bits and pieces. So if I sold everything, I'm probably back to square one where I was when I started. So yeah, it's a lot of hard work for not a lot at the moment. And I don't think I'm the only one in that position, not just in the motor trade. I think life in general is hard on everybody at the moment, and I'm not, I don't know what to say really. You know, it's hard for everybody at the moment, and yeah, there's no sign of it getting better anytime soon, is there? So yeah, crossroads for me. But anyway, we'll talk about that in the next video, or maybe a video after that. I have got the Jap Imports one coming up, which I'm halfway through doing, but I'm conscious that I want it to be as perfect as it can be, because if I miss anything out and people make a financial decision based on what I'm telling them in those videos, I wouldn't live with myself. So I'm in the middle of doing that one, and in the meantime, I'll try and get a few more of these done if I'm still around. But as always, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It would really keep my morale higher than it is at the moment, because right now I've just about hit the ground. So if you could do that and give me a little thumbs up, it would be really appreciative. And as always, thank you for your time watching it. I know you've got time that you could spend elsewhere, but I do appreciate you spending half an hour with me. So thank you very much, and look after yourself, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.